Thanks to everyone who have subscribed. If you have not, please do. And thanks for coming out here. I really appreciate you. Nigeria is breaking. Federal government should seek foreign help to decimate insurgency. Senator Noro. Senator Sandy Noro, representing Cross River Central Federal Constituency, has said the issue of insecurity problem at play in the country was breaking Nigeria and urged the federal government to take urgent steps to reverse the situation. Senator Noro also urged the federal government to seek military assistance and support from Israel's government to combat the climate and threat of division in the country, owing to escalation of insecurity and activities of the insurgents in the country. Senator Noro said this to Tribune Online in an exclusive interview in his office in Abuja. He said this has become imperative as the Israel government boasts of superior technology and competence in handling terrorists, their threats to society and neglecting and neutralizing insurgency. According to him, the level of bloodshed following the various acts of criminality in different parts of the country was indeed disturbing and could be linked to the experience of Nigerian civil war he described as better than this. His words, Nigeria is breaking. When you look at the entire security architecture in the country and aggregately interrogate, it's you who will find out that even the days of the civil war was better than what it is now presently in Nigeria. He said the total collapse of security across the country was about 50% related to the collapse of the government at the local government council, following the 50% of related to the collapse of governance in the local government council, following the deliberate crippling of the third tier of government in sitting governors in their respective states. Senator Noro said the nation must seek help from all areas it can find, pointing out that it will be immediate and it's already apparent that we cannot shut our doors with our eyes closed as it is now in Nigeria. He pointed out that modern warfare has its digital component, which is critical to disseminating the opponent in the case that insurgents has plagued the country. We need our allies and countries with technology and urge that nation to also help in operation to secure Nigeria from this insurgency crippling the nation. We need everything, every formula that is legitimate to make this work. Let us do away with this state electoral commission thing. Let us give the local government what they need. Let us hire more men into the police and the armed forces wherever they want. Let us digitalize and also look for foreign support. We have been unable to deal with it so far. So let us look out for foreign support. In this country, if you allow the Israel to come in, for instance, and kill this Boko Haram menace, why is that too much for us? Look at China in all its majority. Look at China with all its majestic approach after dealing with the coronavirus for some times and finding it was overwhelming. They opened their doors, he said. He charged the federal government not to be too cautious about national pride and expose the citizens to more grievous danger and reach out to those with the technology, proven and experienced to come and render the help and intelligence military support to help with the insurgency that is keeping Nigeria down so our people can be safe again. Open your doors and get men who have the knowledge and technology better than you, he said. Well, Senator, you have spoken well, but as a senator of the country, I know that you are part of the federal government. And one of the things you can do as a senator is bring this up in the Senate meeting By the time you guys deliberate on it and pass it on to, I mean, senators, you are the ones that sit in the affairs representing every constituency in Nigeria. So you were elected by your people. Every state has a senator representing them, their affairs relating to the government, what is prevalent in their area. It's good you are saying this, very good. You have spoken well, but what have you done in your Senate meeting? Because most time what we see the senators do is that they just come to meeting. Some of them are even sleeping. People that are supposed to be representing senatorial districts, speaking up for the people. You've placed yourself high and mighty. Even the common man cannot reach you to explain and to say this is what is happening in the local area. Most of you don't even relate with the people in your constituency to know what is really happening. You make yourself high and mighty, and no one can even tell you what is going on. So, how can you adequately represent your senatorial district? You have spoken well, very well. I mean, not you've really spoken well, but it's in your hand. It's not in Buhari's hand. He's the president. He's not the final say in the country. The Senate has power. Even the president can be brought to the Senate to answer questions. Yes, Nigeria is a political, it's democratic government, so it's not a rule of law. We are not under some dictator. It's not a dictatorship government. You have a voice. Bring this up in your Senate meeting, deliberate on it, pass it on as a bill, and give the president, vice president, and whoever, and give them the ultimatum to carry it out. Yes, you have spoken well as one with wisdom that knows exactly what he's saying. But what have you done about it? What are you doing about it? You know what we see in Nigeria? We all have ideas how the thing should work, but nobody is really ready to get this thing to work. Everybody is suggesting here and there. Insurgency plaguing the nation. Oh yeah, it's no longer in news. But what are you guys doing to really solve this issue? The common man is dying. Yet you guys are very particular about your allowances. Very unfortunate that I still hear a whisper that somebody was saying they should increase your money. Can you really believe that? In the face of this manic plaguing the country. What are you guys really doing? What are you guys really doing? You have spoken very well, no doubt. You have an idea what will solve the nation, what will solve the nation's insecurity problem. You have an idea, it's good, welcome idea. But, Senator, have you brought this up to say that Israel has recent technology that could help the country? Israel has what's it called? Technology, the manpower, and the arm and the military skills that could help this country to move forward. Have you brought it up? Have you guys deliberated on it? Have you spoken to your fellow senators? What are you guys really doing to make sure that this country is a better place? Because I know Buhari is not exempted, don't get me wrong. But you guys are even worse than Buhari. You guys are even worse than Buhari. Nobody is speaking the truth anymore. Everybody's just there and they are just senator for mouth. You know, we need to call it a spade and help this country to move forward. We need to be very sincere as to how Nigeria will move forward. Rather than pointing the fingers, let's make it work. Let's get our hands to work. Senator Sandy Noro, if you bring it up and you spearhead it, you know how people make history and leave their footprint in the sand of time. I'll give you an example, an instance. Martin Luther King, at some point in America, he saw that the black race was being oppressed. And so he took it upon himself. He began to fight and to speak up. Remember, he died in this process. But there is no way American history will be written with the exemption of Martin Luther King. Today, the black community in America can be called Black Americans. They can be called African Americans. Why? Because somebody dared put down his life. Remember, he was assassinated. He was killed during one of the rallies. So people they didn't find it funny in those days. Today we are talking about him as a great man of history. But guess what? He took the risk. You need to take the bull by the horn. Stop doing the talk and walk the walk. All our senators and every one of you, we don't know exactly what you're doing. You're there collecting fat salaries in respect of what is going on in the country. You know, it's a shame to say a list of the things that is going on in Nigeria. We need to stop this, and everybody needs to get at it if we really want Nigeria to be a better place. Everyone out there, thanks for listening. It's just a very upsetting news that a senator in this capacity is the one speaking to us and speaking such when they have the ability to be able to make Nigeria work, when they have the ability to be able to speak, and legislate on behalf of the people. Yet they are not using the power of their office. They're just there making a paper feel good that they have said something, you know. Anyway, thanks for listening. Do have a lovely and a blessed day. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Click on the notification button so you can get all our latest news. Have a lovely and a wonderful day. God bless. Bye.